everyone, and welcome to our latest episode of MSME Masterclass. I am pleased to introduce our esteemed speaker for today's masterclass, Mr. Prem Prakash Gajpal. A seasoned industry leader with over 40 years of experience, Mr. Gajpal is the Director of Operations at Advik Hi-Tech Pvt, where he spearheads strategic growth, operational excellence, and business transformation. His academic credentials are just as impressive. He holds an MTech in Productions Engineering from the prestigious Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, a bachelor's degree in Mechanical Engineering from NIT Raipur, and an MBA in Operations Management from Indira Gandhi National Open University. This unique combination of technical expertise and business acumen enabled him to lead large-scale manufacturing operations successfully. Throughout his illustrious career, Mr. Gajpal has held leadership roles in renowned organizations where he played a pivotal role in process innovation, quality management, and large-scale operational enhancements. He has successfully implemented world-class manufacturing practices such as total quality management, Toyota production systems, and lean manufacturing, leading to significant cost reductions and productivity improvements. A recipient of the prestigious Deeming Award for TQM practices, he has also been at the forefront of business strategy, project management, and plant operations, successfully managing multi-million-dollar projects and expansions. Beyond his corporate journey, Mr. Gajpal is a certified visionary leader for manufacturing and a certified executive coach. He is passionate about mentoring professionals and guiding businesses towards operational efficiency and scalability. Today, he joins us to share his wealth of knowledge on scalability versus growth, a crucial distinction that can define the success or struggle of any business. With his deep industry insights, hands-on experience, and real-world examples, this session promises to be an invaluable learning experience and opportunity for all of us. Welcome to our MSME Masterclass. We're pleased and thrilled to have you today with us.
Thank you very much, Amrita, and thank you very much for inviting me to this program of GSW1 MSME Masterclass. And I'm really excited to have a deliberation on this very important topic of scalability versus growth.
Sure. So my first question to you is, beyond definitions, how does the difference between scaling and growing impact business strategy, operations, and profitability in the long run?
Yeah, so before I really give you an answer, let me give a claimer and disclaimer that what I'm going to talk now is based on my experience in manufacturing industry over 40 years. While the concept and ideas may be applicable to other industries like marketing or in digital world, but I will be more focused on the manufacturing per se, and my example will be more relevant to the MSME. Is that fine?
That's perfectly all right, sir.
Yeah. So today, when you see especially MSME in India, what we're finding is that their approach to the whole business, at times they don't know what is approach. They just start. And many of these MSME adopt philosophy of growth. And their idea of growth is that if I have to expand my business, I have to expand my revenue, I have to put same amount of resources. And this aspect in longer run makes this business declining profit or unprofitable. The reason is very simple. Because over a period of time, the input cost will increase. There will be factor of escalation of different costs, whether manpower, material, everything. If the same proportion, you can't get the price from market because market pays what market demand. Contrary to that, when we talk about scaling model, which is based on the again business expansion, not in proportion to the input, but with the small input we want to get leverage that for the bigger output, and that is how company becomes profitable and sustainable in the long run. You talked about the impact in profitability. Of course, if you stick to growth model, one day or other there's a decline, there is a decline in profit, and then there is a chances for bankruptcy. Whereas other model talks about sustainability, continuously maintaining your profit. That is the long-term impact I see.
Sir, according to you, what are businesses' biggest misconceptions about scaling and how can they avoid these pitfalls?
Yeah, so again, coming to MSME, the biggest misconception is their thinking of being small. And when they think that they're small, they think this is not for me. Because when they think about putting a scalability model where they need to improve their efficiency, where they need to put certain amount of automation or use of technology, they feel it will be not viable for them. So first biggest misconception is about the cost of acquisition of those technology or those methods, and that is the not only misconception, it's a myth, because the whole idea is that you put small money and they gain the bigger gain. And in turn, what happens? This small business invest in expensive expansion without optimizing their efficiency and leading to the higher cost. So that is the pitfall of this whole thinking process.
So let's talk about an example of a business that focused on growth over scalability and faced challenges because of it, and what lessons can be learned from their experience.
Yeah, so if you see this again, the data, if you go even to the portal Udyam, you'll find that every year now that number has increased more than 20 lakhs MSCs are joining. At the same time, more than 10,000, 20,000 SMEs are closing. And if you analyze those data, it may say that they didn't get the government support or they didn't get that financial support or the management method. So this will be the broader reason for failure. But if you get into the detail, it is the way they function. And when we talk about the again failure, for the company who didn't focus on scalability, uh, and they only focus on growth, there is no exception of a small and big business. So I give my own example where I worked for 14 years with HMT, which was a flagship company in 90s, making a very credible quality watches in India. Now, that company, they started post-independence, and in 40 years, they put up 5 plants with again growth model, one after another, every plant with a capacity of over 2 million. Demand was good. But after 90s, when the rupee devaluated, and because they were also importing a lot of material from overseas, their operation became inviable because they were unable to meet their working capital requirement. Reason was simple: one plant to other plant, they didn't go for the model of scalability. They didn't adopt the simple automation. So every plant came with the higher input cost. So their profit margin with the again whenever they're putting the new plant, it was shrinking. Net result, by early 2000, the company got closed. So if you see the story of this big company, the 5 plants in India with 2 million, over 10 million watches capacity, demand was there. Company had a good brand, company had a good quality. Why they could not sustain is they could not meet their operational challenges because of this model. And this is the area what I see today. Of course, that time it didn't occur to me that what is happening. But when I look back and see that whether they could produce same number of watches with the 4 plants or maybe more than that, what they are producing, my answer is yes. It was question of what is the model that time that company adopted. And this story goes on. And it is not limited to HMT Limited. We know the multiple places of failure. In
Right.
MSME, yeah. So in MSME sector, of course, we don't know the name, but to me, that story is saying that the way they adopt their business model, that is the one of the bigger concern.
Correct. So, one of the key questions that I have right now is should business owners ask themselves to determine if they are positioned for scalability rather than just growth?
Yes. So here there are many signals. If you see that the company start a business, they want to serve the market, they want to expand, and many times they expand without thinking that how to expand. They just duplicate the whole business. They have put one plan, If they have the space within the plant, they will expand that capacity. If they don't, they will buy another plant and expand that. But with the expansion, the a smart owner or a smart entrepreneur can really assess that whether my profitability is improving or declining. And once they are cognizant of this particular factor, they can sense that this is time for me to think about scalability. So now your question was how will they determine whether they are positioned for scalability or not? So this companies or enterprise need to look back. What are my processes currently? Whether they're standardized, whether it is efficient, I have done enough for that, or there is scope of automation, there is scope for again technology intervention. So this simple question will give them the answer whether they are positioned for that or not.
Correct. My next question to you, sir, is what foundational elements, which could be processes, systems, mindset, must be in place before a business can scale successfully?
Yeah, so successful, this is again your model of scalability depends on leadership. That what is the leadership thinking, what is their structure, and what is their thought process. So I say that any change begins with the acceptance of the change, and this is a mindset. Generally, we don't accept. And a company who is there in existence for let's say 5 years, 10 years, they feel that they know how to do the job, and they resist to the change. And so I will wait firstly the mindset and leadership style of owner. They need to think that, like in previous deliberation, I was talking about uh, whether it is for them or not. Many times they think it is not for me. So that belief. So it has to start with the belief, and it is primarily about the mindset and leadership. Once this is in place, they can put the process, they can put the system, and then make their company scalable.
And so, how can small businesses ensure they scale without proportionately increasing costs, especially when resources are very limited?
Yeah, this is the one very important question, and the answer lies in again scalability. So, as a model of scalability, what we are saying is that you need to get better output with the lesser input. So, a company, let's say they just want to expand to meet the market demand, or they want to reach to the larger market. So, one idea is which is growth model. They have to put the same amount of or more amount of resources, money, capital to grow their business. But on the other hand, when we are saying that very small business, they need to look back that what is that I can really do more here. What is there? What is the scope? And the very first thing what comes is their internal efficiencies, and that itself they can leverage without spending money. So once they have limited resources, the first and foremost I'll say is that how you leverage efficiency. And efficiency is one of the biggest driver for scalability model. And with this efficiency, then you can go down and see that what are the other method. And so here, I also want to give you example of small businesses. How can they do? Let's say MSME. Most of MSME, they are working in a particular domain. Somebody sheet metal, casting, or forging, or machining, and they start feeling they have become a subject matter expert. Now they don't look back. What are the inefficiency in my system? Within the same thing, how can I leverage more? How can I? And my experience shows that they can easily increase their output by 20 to 30%, even without spending money. And with simple automation and other tools, they can start doing this work.
Got it. So, what role does technology play in scaling, and what cost effective tools or strategies can smaller businesses leverage for sustainable expansion?
Yeah, so technology, I say, is a force multiplier for scaling. Because in my previous answer, what I was giving you is the simple method like efficiency improvement through TPM technique, or their streamlining their supply chain. These are that can be done without even spending money. I mean, you need some trained personnel, you need some coach, some guide to improve your efficiency, implement those methodology. But when you use technology, you can really leverage, and it depends upon the type of industry. For example, if you are into digital marketing or other, where you don't need to increase your number of employees, but how smartly you're using various digital tools. And for the small business, my again idea will be not to go for the capital model, because you don't want to invest. Then you need to find out what is the other model, whether OPEX model is there, whether subscription model is there. You can subscribe and use that as per your users. And there are such multiple models are available. Let's talk about ERP for any company to run their enterprise planning. You need not to go to heavy cost investment in SAP or Oracle. You can use Tally, you can use similar Joho and other tool, which is available at much lower cost. And you need not to put all their hardware and then data bank inside. You can use the cloud computing. So it depends on how smartly and how effectively you leverage this tool, which are available in different models. For a big company, as I said, that you can have everything in your premises, because that justifies to your economy, your scale up economy. But a smaller business, you can't afford to buy this thing. You go for a subscription model. Cloud computings are there today. Somebody going for, let's say, customer interface, they can use AI, they can use chatbot without having a physically person. So there are multiple methods available, and I say that technology is equal to scaling without high cost, and that is how technology can really today support, supplement, and improve the profitability.
So now let's say if I am an MSME and I want to scale rapidly. So what are the risks associated with scaling too fast, and how can businesses avoid or mitigate those risks?
Yeah, this is something, again, I will say the mistake one can do. You know that Rome was not built in a day. And if you want to do that way, any good thing or any the betterment, you cannot just do like rapid fire. So what it is required is, again, scalability is a very systematic, gradual, sustainable process. And a company who tries to, let's say, speed up beyond a level will have various risks. Financial risks. For example, you want to do something in a very short period, whether you are having this financial capability to fund for that. Because you're not proportionally put money, but you are going to put money, some money, to get the gain. You may have your own operational risk. Your team is not ready to meet those speed. So you need to prepare your team. Similarly, at times company forget to take care of the supply chain. They feel that I'm ready, so others will be ready automatic. And that is most forgotten thing. Like a company supplying to a market, or enterprise supplying to the bigger company, they only see their capacity. And then they say, okay, I'm ready. I'm having the finance, I have money, I'm having resource, let's start. But they will forget that whether my supply chain is ready or not. Sometimes the logistic readiness will be problem. And the biggest one, the cultural leadership breakdown. Because when you are going for scaling versus your growing model, in growing model, you put people at place at any cost, because you say that I want to run this business with a multiplication. But in scaling model, you want to take care of your profitability, you want to take care of sustainability. So whether your team is ready or not, because you may hire new people for that, they are culturally fit to adopt to this one. So I won't suggest this method of the fast. Rather, I say that, okay, if you want to really manage it, hire, you can hire slowly, but you may train them fast to meet your requirement. So here I suggest the small enterprise to go step by step, three-step approach. The first one, pre-scaling readiness. Whether what is required for me, which is the can be done without the cost, standardizing the process, automating mundane routine jobs, removing the obvious inefficiency. So this is phase one. Then once you stabilize this one, then go to the phase two, which I say is a controlled expansion or scaling in stage. So you start scaling, grow operational bottlenecks, remove this one, take care of our financial side, and make supplier base ready. And then final phase will be sustainable growth and continuous improvement. Then now scale. You want to put the technology in place, or you want to put the next level of thing that can be done. So, but my very sincere advice to MSME or any company, do scaling sensibly, gradually, steadily.
So, how does a scalable business model differ from a growth focused business model regarding operational structure?
Yeah, so let's talk about the growth model. In growth model, because I'm duplicating what I'm having, so this model will be heavy with the people because now the span of control of each individual is limited. So you'll be putting layer. So it will be layered structure. Decision making normally for such company or such owner is more centralized because he is going with again the ownership mindset that I need to take decision. So the growth model will put more hierarchical structure, delayed decision making, centralized decision making, and that is the more complexity in that. Versus when you think about the scalable model, here what we are talking about the multi-skilling. A person can do the multiple job, cross-functional approach, problem-solving approach. So this model will be more lean, more flat, and distributed decision making. As the leadership has to see that what are the decisions which can be taken in next in line. It is also creating this leadership pipeline, not as a the central thinking. So these are two different models we need to think that. So scalable model is a flatter, more where you give more autonomy to next line, which so and so this is an structure side, operating structure side.
How should businesses adapt their leadership approach and company culture to support scalability?
Business model and
I'll repeat my question, sir. How should businesses adapt their leadership approach and company culture to support scalability?
Yeah, so this is a related question to what I was giving answer in previous one. So once we talk about a scalable model, it is more on trust and then competency of the leadership team. So the owner, which at the top, need to see that how he develop professional below him who can take their operative decision. Maybe with the financial decision need to be taken by the leader. So everything should not come to him, and he should have belief, and he should be ready to delegate the power. So the leadership need to go away from the power centricity to the distributed decision making, which is database decision making. That is the biggest difference I can say.
Okay. So my next question to you is, what are some practical ways businesses can improve operational efficiency to prepare for scaling? And can you also share with our attendees some real world case studies?
Yeah, so let me here start with a practical example. And then I will, with that practical example, I can say that what are the some practical ways to do it. So let's talk about my company. This company started in year 2000. Now it is 25 years. By middle of its age, means when in 2013, this company was close to 150 crore. And now we are poised for more than 1,500 crore, which is 10x growth in last 10 years. Uh, so now my example, what I'm going to give is not for the Advik, but what we are doing to our small, medium suppliers. So what we found of late when our growth, we went into the expansion and growth path, we found that our suppliers are lagging behind. And most of supplier will come back to us that he is not able to meet that cost requirement. They will come with a cost increase idea. And they will say that because I need to meet your more demand, so I need to put more machinery. So that was point somewhere in 2015, we thought of running a program. So this program is called Disha. And the Disha program, what we conceived is that this program will run to make SME real SME. So from a small medium enterprise to subject matter expert. That was our idea. So they become a subject matter and then they can run their operation efficiently. So the model what we adopted was TPM model, which is total productive maintenance model. So we sent our professional to their premises to say that how can they improve their efficiencies, how can they remove the bottleneck, how can they reduce their losses. And this we are doing in a group. So far we have covered close more than 25 suppliers. As an average, what we found was their productivity improvement was more than 35%. Their manpower reduction for the same business was more than 20%. So this, their idea of coming back for every expansion, the delta cost went away. One of the case study which was published today in one of management school case study, that company firstly started with basic TPM. The productivity improvement in that particular company was close to 35-40%. They went into simple automation. Further, they needed improvement. So we have the case that they have created two plants within one plant. Then they could bring out the production double in the same premises with the same resources by putting this basic principle of TPM, then simple automation, the one man, two machine or one man multi-machine. So these were the very, very simple concept. And this method, of course, we have written a document about that, and any of our supplier can do. So we have, as I said, it's a company we have done now more than 25 and 10 more suppliers in this path. So methodology, if I say TPM approach, efficiency improvement, reducing bottleneck. When you go to further supply chain, just in time or your value stream mapping. So these are basic fundamental tools anybody can do. And why I propagate TPM in manufacturing is this can be understood by big companies, this can be understood by smaller companies, this can be understood by owner, it can be understood by operator. The language is simple. It is shop floor efficiency improvement. So this particular method, and I am promoting much more in our supply chain to everyone to adopt because it doesn't cost money. Rather, it gives money back to the industry. And then when you mature to certain level, you can go for simple automation. You can also go for low-cost IoT solution to reduce again dependency on the people, and then you can have real-time data, real-time analysis. So, and similar thing can hopefully can work for other industries. Instead of like lean, they can adopt Agile or Scrum or some other method.
Right. Sir, how can businesses determine when to expand into new markets or product lines without disrupting scalability?
Yeah. So beyond a point, company cannot really expand their business within the same resources because that resource will also have a limit. But I will say here one of the saying of my TPM group. He used to ask a simple question. He used to say that, what is capacity of this machine? And it's a standard. We may say that it is 1,000 pieces per month, per day, or we may say 25,000 per month. This is the kind of capacity we used to define. And he said, this capacity is in your brain. It is not in the machine. Your brain sees that this, because you have taught this machine to produce the part in 1 minute, one piece. So you're saying the capacity is 60. So if your brain works to reduce this one, the capacity is then unlimited. So this is the one of the formula we need to adopt before going for expansion. Advik in this company is one of the world's largest oil pump maker for two-wheeler. We used to make one pump in a 60 minute. Today, we make one pump in a 60 second. We make in a 20 second. Means I have reduced 2 more plant need for meeting same requirement. So when your limit reaches to that level, then you start thinking, no, now this is time for me to do the expansion. And as I said, without disturbing scalability, even your new expansion has to follow the principle of scalability, which is the high efficiency, lean automation. And in automotive, what we see that, at time it is also demand of the market. Like we have, let's say, customer in Southeast Asia. We need to expand over there. We have a customer in North India, South India. So based on customer proximity, also we need to decide. But before deciding, we need to see that what is more there, what more I can leverage from my current resources, what more I can do from my current facility. And once that reaches, then only we can decide. But again, caution, before deciding about expansion, we need to see that what is that my financial backup to support for expansion. What is my operational readiness? What is my supply chain readiness? What is my talent pool readiness? So with this, once we are ready with this, then we should go for expansion.
So what role do customer acquisition and retention play in scaling, and how can businesses balance rapid customer growth without compromising on service quality?
Yeah. So next to your operational matter and operational excellence, next thing comes the customer. And everybody is excited once they get the new customer. But here also I will use one of saying that one bird in hand is better than 2 in the bushes. So when you are getting excited about the new customer, please see that how well you are serving to this customer. You are not getting that new market, new customer at the expense of the current one. So customer acquisition and retention, we need to balance this one. So we certainly need to, as a company, need to grow, company need to expand, company need to increase their sale and profitability, they need to go to new market. But then please, one has to take care of the current. Make sure that I'm having satisfaction over there and not losing any service to that customer in terms of quality or delivery or any kind of service. And after ensuring, then of course, go to the new segment and expand that.
Okay, all right. So how do customer experience and service quality impact a business's ability to scale? And can you also share examples of companies that have either succeeded or failed due to this fact?
Yeah, so customer experience and customer service quality is just not a function. This I see as a strategic business tool, because one satisfied customer rather can bring 2 more customers, but one dissatisfied customer may then bring down your 10 more customers. So the power of dissatisfaction is 5 to 10 times. So once we understand this concept, then we can understand better about customer experience and customer service. So, as earlier I was telling that new customer acquisition not at the cost of the current one. This is same that how we create really customer experience, and this customer experience and the customer satisfaction can become a business model. So let me give example of well-known Amazon. So today Amazon, we say Amazon, everybody knows that because it is the delivery for everybody's household. Amazon today is a world largest online retailer, and what I see their story is success through customer obsession. What they said did that how to improve customer experience, how to give them customer satisfaction. Though they brought same day delivery model, they made this your return refund easier. They also brought out customer specific suggestion based on your choices. So all this thing, now we can see that how sustainable and profitable the way they are doing this business. Now, this is that, and there may be many success story in each field, whether it is manufacturing or other field. We can relate with that, and that is power of customer experience and customer satisfaction. Now, contrary to this, I give one example that Nokia. One time Nokia was the face for mobile. Everybody was Nokia, also BlackBerry. So mobile means Nokia. That is the time. Where they failed is they overlook customer-centric innovation. They wanted to sell what they were selling. They were doing incremental improvement. They didn't go for a smartphone so fast. They took time, and then they also didn't improve their operating system. The net result is what today Samsung and Apple moved their position, and today they are again trying to come back, but the ground last is the ground last. So I see that customer experience is for your competitive advantage. A company in the same domain with the same kind of product with the good customer experience and service quality can really build business over that.
Got it. So my next question to you is, if a business owner realizes that they focus too much on growth instead of scalability, how can they pivot? What are the first corrective steps that they should take?
Yeah, so in the business, there are enough signals actually. For example, if I'm growing business flat, one after the other, I will sense by my financial parameter whether when I'm expanding business, I'm doing so much business where my financials are improving, my profitability are improving. And if it is not improving, then this is giving signal. And a business owner, if they capture this signal, they can think around and see that what is wrong. And once they realize my business model itself is not right for the sustainability or for profitability, then they need to firstly sit back and look back about the current business. What is wrong with that? What are the opportunities for that? The principle of, again, scalability applies here. See that what are my financial matrices, where it is going, what is my operational bottleneck, what are my operational inefficiencies, what is my leadership structure. And these are the points which will give them the leverage to improve. And previously I talked about 3 steps. So once there is a realization of the owner or about this indicator, he should start with the basic principles. So steadily maintaining that. Step 1 is, I said that the background work for the skilling. Then you do the thing which are easy without money, and then you go to technology. So, and also that adopting leadership and structure. which gives that accountability. Otherwise, the owner, he doesn't want to leave his position and he wants to have his still control. Probably they cannot really implement scalability in a right way.
So my last question to you is, what mindset shifts must entrepreneurs embrace to transform from a growth-driven approach to a scalability-focused strategy?
Yeah, so transformation from growth driven strategy to scalability for any enterprise is the how entrepreneur think. So which I was talking about earlier about mindset. What is thinking process? Whether he is chasing expansion or he is chasing sustainable profitability. Because if you are behind this chasing expansion and growing the top line, and then probably the approach itself is wrong. So as a mindset shift, he need to think back and see that how to get more from the less. Otherwise, it is proportional. In his earlier approach, he think that my output is proportional to my input, but that's a reverse actually. But as time passes, you need to give more input to bring the less output. Whereas when you start thinking, no, I can also have the good operational excellence, operational efficiency, I can adopt this method. So first, he has to come out with this mindset, yes, I need to do that. And doing that will also require a lot of giveaway from him. He cannot have the same control what he's having in the growth model. He need to trust more to his leadership team. He has to build the system. He has to build the structure. So if I define this mindset shift, it's a shift from revenue to the profitable or efficient model, or more people to more efficient people, or the mindset of speed first to sustainable scaling, and founder dependent to the professional dependent. He has to professionalize the organization, and he has to give this authority to the team that they can take decision for the efficiency and growth of the company. So I say that scale intelligently, not just aggressively. If you want to go to a scalable model, and so this is intelligent, and then owner need to play a role of owner, and they need to give the space to the professional for taking right decision.
So with that, we've come to the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and intel on scalability versus growth, understanding the difference, because there is a gap in terms of knowing what scalability is and what is growth. There's often misconception about both, and people think it's one and the same. So thank you so much for differentiating both through your references, examples, and giving so many insights to our attendees today.
Yeah, so at the end, I want to also summarize the whole thing is the first of all, when we say these two models is the question of mindset. And then comes the leadership structure. Most of the growth model do adopt the improvement, the small improvement, but there is a need for the continual improvement and also breakthrough improvement. So organization to do the approach of scalable, they need to have a sustainability control what have been achieved. They need to adopt a continual improvement approach, and then they also need to bring some breakthrough ideas. And this breakthrough idea will come through their expertise in either designing or that particular manufacturing or certain technology. So let's take the good blend of these two end, and not to take these two as a separate, but to blend growth and scalability together with continuous improvement and breakthrough idea. So that is my last message for this session.
Thank you for that, sir. Means a lot. Thank you so much. For our attendees who are online, if you'd like to view the current episode, if you've missed any part of the current episode or the previous episodes, please go on YouTube, type GSW1 MSME, and you will find all the episodes uploaded there. Thank you once again, sir. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.